how do you discern the direction God is leading you to go? When you got decisions to make, do I stay at the job I'm at or do I pursue a new one? Do I fight for a relationship or walk away? Do I go to college A or college B? Or maybe more practically, like this week, if you're a leader or a business owner, you're wrestling through the same questions that we are as a leadership team of when do we reopen and how do we do that? And how do you sort through all of the complicated opinions and options and ways that you could move forward? I want to share with you today a principle that has just been a tremendous help for me in trying to discern God's leading in both the kind of small everyday stuff of life, but also in the big challenges or big decisions of life. And you might be a little question me at first when I say this, but here's what I'm learning. That the key to discerning God's leading is to be indifferent. To be indifferent to anything other than the will of God. Now, I know that typically we hear indifference as a negative thing. I mean, even the definition sounds bad. It's a lack of interest or concern. It sounds negative. It's kind of like what my kids experienced this past weekend when my wife lovingly rescued a kitten. And we fostered it through the weekend. And my children wanted me to fall in love with the cat. But I maintained, and I voiced to them, a steady level of indifference to this cute little kitten. Now, cat lovers, please forgive me. We passed this kitten off to a wonderful cat-loving family. It's going to live happily ever after. But when we're talking about indifference, it's not that kind of indifference where it's negative, but a positive kind of indifference that is rooted in relationship with Jesus. This is not my idea. It comes from a saint of the church from the 1500s, a Catholic theologian and priest named Ignatius of Loyola. And he talks about this in lots of different ways and uses the word attachment. If you want to learn more about it, there's a great site you can look at, ignatianspirituality.com. But they offer this description about indifference. They say it means being detached enough from the things and people or experiences of this world to be able to either take them up or leave them aside, depending on whether or not they help us to praise, reverence, and serve God. In other words, it's the capacity to let go of what doesn't help me to love God or love others while staying engaged with what does. So practicing indifference as a spiritual discipline means that our attachments, our interest or concern for the people and things of this world, all of them, even the good stuff, that those attachments pale in comparison to our concern and interest in Jesus and the things of his kingdom. Ignatius would say that if we do not pursue this practice or this place of being indifferent, that you can't really discern where God is leading you. If we predetermine our mind and we go to God and we say, God, please help this happen, or please God make this happen, or we're looking for God to approve of our plans, then we're not really discerning God's leading. We're just asking for God's approval of our best ideas. I don't want to live that way. And I can easily go that way as somebody who can strategize out plans. And so when I'm making particularly big decisions, I want to come to this place of God. I want to be indifferent to anything other than loving you, pursuing you, helping others do the same, anything other than your will. This is the prayer that Jesus models for us. If you look in Matthew chapter 26, this is Jesus' prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he comes to the Father agonizing as he approaches the cross, and he says, my Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine. This is the prayer of indifference. And I would say this is the heart of what it means to be a follower of Jesus. We follow him in this prayer of indifference. We follow him in surrendering everything to God. Our desires, our plans, our expectations, our family, our relationships, our career, all of it, we surrender to Him. We say, God, in every decision I make, I want to be indifferent to anything other than you and your will. Not my will, God, but yours be done. That the more indifferent we become to the people and things of this world, the more free we become to discover and walk in God's will for us. Prayer for us this week is that we would move toward this freedom and power of indifference that Jesus models for us.